Hello and welcome back to Down the Track. Today we are two very, very happy hosts over here, Musti as usual and me, looking good for the Sunrisers against Rajasthan. Very, very dominant performance. Your initial thoughts, Musti?
Finally, a win, man, after three losses, and that too a comfortable, convincing win. No nail-biting finishes and nothing of that sort. I think a comprehensive win. I think the start of the Sunrisers innings, like it's over. Like Warner and Bairstow, there's no Williamson today. Warner and Bairstow both gone. Jofra Archer was bowling at full tilt, unbelievable spell. I thought it was over, but the way Manish, Pandey, and Vijay Shankar batted, this is why they're in the team. This is why they were what finally they've shown it. It's taken 2 or 3 years, but they've finally shown that this is why they were paid the big bucks. And unbelievable batting. I think they supported each other very well. Vijay Shankar was the perfect foil. He didn't get out. He consumed some dot balls, but then rotated the single, and then he accelerated at the end. Pandey from ball one was striking it beautifully. I think a fantastic win for Sunrisers. Wasn't really expecting it, but a dominant performance.
First one winning, the first one this season to chase, and like they won their previous games before just batting first. The pitches seem to be assisting the people batting second. The dew starting to come in. Pitch seemed like it was working a little bit better in the second innings compared to the first. But I mean, hats off to Sunrisers. They went out there. They did the job. A commanding position throughout. They never really looked. I mean, the only spot of bother in that chase was when Johnny got out, I thought. But the way Pandey came in and started tonking the ball around to young Tyagi, the spinners, he just was an immaculate form. I mean, it was just beautiful to see that kind of a performance. We know he's capable of that. It's just the inconsistency that really kills us as a Manish Pandey fan. But when he can go in full flow like he did today, it's just so beautiful to watch. And then Vijay Shankar, I mean, with the bat, a very good performance, a nice half century. With the ball, even last game and even this game, I mean, he's bringing that balance to the side that was lacking. So I think that they have that. They can play with that little bit more flexibility, and if he can do that at number 4, and this is kind of why he was picked as a 3D player to kind of bat bowl and field for the team even in India. I mean, he's showing it again. I think a little bit inconsistent with him as well, but I think that they both have the talent and they were able to show that today, and it was very, very nice to see.
Yeah, I mean, you got it spot on. I think a lot of props to David Warner winning the toss and bowling first with that lineup. I think he backed the boys. Like you said, the dew, I'm not sure. I think as it gets colder, maybe there's more dew because the weather is like cooling down maybe a bit in UAE. So maybe that's why. But in the beginning, we didn't see much dew. I was very surprised with that call because I thought the pitch will get slower and they didn't have the batting. There was no Williamson today in the middle order.
Right.
So I was a bit surprised with that call. I thought they'd go top heavy, go all out with the opening stand in the first innings to win the toss and bat. But I think an excellent call. He backed the boys and they stepped up. And the bowling as well, like you said, Vijay Shankar, brilliant. You didn't even need to bowl Nadeem's 4 overs. Vijay Shankar handled it. I think the ball he got Butler was a very smart ball. It looked really bad if you look at it from thing, but his Butler came at him. He pushed it a bit wide and straight to point. So he's bowling slowly, he's taking pace off the ball. I think these kind of bowlers will be effective as the tournament is going on now. We're getting into the latter stages and the pitches are wearing down. So I think that kind of bowling will be very helpful, and he bowled really well. Rashid Khan again brilliant, and Holder, Jason Holder comes in, debut game, 3 wickets, and he bowled really well. And the run out, and he bowled really well at the death. I think an excellent contribution. Hats off to him because you come in all the way from the West Indies as a replacement, then you're sitting there in the bio bubble. I think he spoke about it as well a couple of days back that it impacts the mental health, and he just came out all guns blazing, and it was a brilliant effort. I think that was fantastic by him.
Absolutely. And even Sandeep Sharma, I think like you said, similar to Vijay Shankar, when these pitches wear down, his slow balls become very effective. So that's why he looks like a completely different bowler than, let's say, in the beginning when the pitches are really fresh and everything. Because he lacks the pace, but he brings it out. His variety is helpful. So I think that's helping as well. I mean, Natarajan was probably the only poor spot in this bowling lineup, but apart from that, I think everyone else was very, very good. And 150 to chase it off. And and they did it with 2 overs to spare. So I mean, it was just a very commanding position
So with
win
Natarajan,
for them.
do you think like I mean his concept is right. He's trying to get the block hole, right?
Yeah,
But like even in the last over, he bowled four amazing balls, and then one he just missed it, and it went for six.
yeah.
So do you think he should just try a bit back of the length and use the pitch, use other variations, or because his concept is right, he's trying to get the block hole. It's not like his mindset is wrong, but it's just the execution. It won't execute every single time. He's trying to pull
Yeah.
Yorker every ball, and it might not work, even though that's the way to do it. But do you think he should just like drag his line a bit, especially when someone like a Parag likes to scoop and everything? Maybe drag it just a bit and for a couple of balls.
Absolutely, I think for sure. I think that you can't just go 6 of 6. You'll miss it every now and again. It's not an easy ball to bowl, so you will have definitely miss it every now and again. But like you might want to do three in an over and then try three different balls. I mean, yes, I mean even if your Yorker does miss, you're still going to get back for a 6. So if you get back for a 6, trying something different, I don't think that should be a problem. Unless you're like probably chasing and unless you're like in the bowling in the second innings and then it's just they need like 20 of 12 or something like that. That's when you want to just go all 6 Yorkers, just try
Yeah.
to play your best. But I think when you're trying some certain different things, you sometimes it might work because suddenly see a slower one and they try to go at it and they might top edge it
Yeah.
to a fielder or something of
Especially
that sort as well.
considering the pitches as well.
Exactly, I 100% agree that, and I
Grip.
think he
Yeah.
will learn from that. I think today's game will he's had a couple of games that he's been scored runs off of. So I think he'll sit down, he'll think about it,
Yeah.
and he'll probably come out better for sure because he's a smart bowler. I think he'll improve himself.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad bowling. It's just that one Yorker converts into full toss and the batsman's going to put it away. So,
Absolutely. Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. Coming to Rajasthan, these guys have a lot of thinking to do. I mean, they've been like inconsistent again. There's a couple of really good games. It started off with Acharya, then a string of losses, then a couple of good games again in the middle, but again now a loss. So they've kind of been there and been in and out of this season. And now looking hard for them because they need to win the next three. With the way their inconsistency has been, I think it'll be a little bit hard for them to win all three. So that kind of along with Chennai now kind of pretty much more or less out of the door. I would imagine. I mean, unless of course they some kind of a miracle happens. Not miracle per se, but like if a lot of other like if they win the next three and some of the other results go in their favor, they still have an outside chance, no doubt. But for the most part, I think they are lower down that pecking order now with Punjab, Kolkata, and Hyderabad probably trying to for that fourth spot.
Yeah,
Your thoughts
definitely.
on them?
Yeah, definitely. I think if you look at their bowling, first of all, it's a one man army, man. It's just Jofra Archer. Like those they should have just probably given him the third over straight after. And if he got Pandey and Shankar out, he could have got both of them out or even one. I think there'd be so much pressure on that Hyderabad lineup. But the rest of the bowlers, they leaked too many runs. Rajput did not support him. Tyagi didn't support. The
Yeah,
spinners went for
yeah.
runs, didn't pick up
Hmm.
wickets. So I felt the backup support in the bowling lineup is very weak. Archer is probably the best bowler in this tournament, right up there with Rabada.
Yeah,
I would say, like today's spell was probably one of the best spells I've seen of fast bowling in the tournament. The way he got
absolutely.
Bairstow and Warner out, unbelievable. It's like test match bowling, man. But
Yeah,
no support, and like I mean, in the beginning, that's what like Sunrisers fans, you wanted him to play out his overs, and that's what happened. Like yes, he got two wickets, but after that, Manish Pandey and Vijay Shankar capitalized on every single bowler. Even
yeah,
if one of them picked up a wicket or tied down the runs, it would have helped Rajasthan. But there was no support in the
yeah,
batting. I mean, they're just not clicking. Ben
yeah.
Stokes, like his strike rate was very poor today. He struggled. Like yes, he made 30 runs, but he struggled for each run. And what do you call it? Samson, he starts well and then he throws away his wicket. Butler today, unfortunately, he didn't click. Smith has just been out of sorts since the first two Sharjah games. The batting is just not clicking. They might need to try something different. It's a very interesting, actually, discussion they're having, the commentators. I don't think if if it was an Indian player, it would have been like a crazier reaction. But they're
Yeah.
actually talking about dropping the likes of Stokes and Smith. Your thoughts on that?
Not Smith, I don't think, but I do think that Stokes. I mean, at least they have to talk about bringing Stokes in as a
Yeah,
finisher at number 5.
or
Do
maybe change his
Butler is
position.
yeah, Butler is the opener for England. Butler is the opener for any team that he plays for. Butler is your
And
white
you know
ball
who made him
cricketing
that
opener.
opener in T20 cricket?
Stokes.
No, Rajasthan Royals made him
Oh,
the
Rajasthan
opener.
Royals. Yeah,
Before
yeah, yeah, yeah.
before the
That's right.
IPL,
That's
he
right.
wouldn't play as an opener for England.
Exactly, absolutely, yes, I completely agree. So that is his position. That is where he flourishes. You just play him there, and Stokes is your finisher. I mean, if he's not giving you anything up front, might as well just keep him in his natural position. I mean, he's your all rounder. Let him finish the games and give you a couple of overs with the ball. That's kind of what you need from him. It's just very very upsetting to see that they're trying too hard on that one. Stokes is not your opener. Stokes is not an opener. He's a middle order finisher. Just play him in a middle order finisher. If you didn't have an opener in your ranks and you're trying, this makes sense. But you're playing a middle order in the opening spot and then playing the opener in the middle order spot just makes no sense to me. Just stick to your guns, man. Just work on your strengths and keep it basic. Samson at three, Smith at four, Stokes at five. It makes life easier. That just gives you that. It's giving you that kind of balance anyway. Whether you open with Stokes or you play him at five, it still gives you the same balance. It's not changing anything.
Yeah.
So just stick to that, and hopefully that works out for them in the next 2-3 games.
Yeah, actually, it's funny, but these two teams have similar issues. Like, the power pack foreign players, but like they're not clicking. Like, Warner Best are not at their peak, and neither are Butler, Stokes, Smith.
Yeah,
And then you have Rashid and Archer bowling crazy.
yeah,
But today the Indian players stepped up, and this will happen. Like in these kind of pitches, you need those players to step up. Like,
right,
these guys have played for India, Shankar and Manish Pandey. Even
correct.
I mean, Samsung has that potential. So you need your if the foreigners don't step up, you need your Indians to step up, and that's exactly what happened for Sunrisers. Unfortunately
Yep.
for Rajasthan, it didn't.
Absolutely, I agree 100%. I think that's pretty much it. I think your player of the match. There's only one option. Usually in these kind of games, I think there's no doubt for me in my head that Manish Pandey gets that. But for you,
Yeah, Manish Pandey and then Vijay Shankar second because he contributed with the ball as well. But yes, Manish Pandey
agree.
because I think Manish Pandey's innings was crucial. He started attacking from ball one. Vijay Shankar took his time, but
Yeah,
he could afford to take that time because Pandey was striking at 180, 190. So that's a
absolutely.
huge thing.
Yeah.
And it's not only about those 80 runs; it's about the rate. When two wickets were down, your best two players are down. You come and you strike it at that rate. I think that's remarkable.
Absolutely, I agree 100% about that. It was just very, 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 very nice to see those two guys step it up and put out that kind of a performance. It just gives the Sunrisers teams a lot of confidence going into the last four games, which if they can win, they have a very good chance of making that playoff spot. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Moving on to
Before we
the
move on, sorry about that.
yes,
You're gonna order chicken biryani or lamb biryani today?
bro, it's always lamb, bro. There's mutton biryani all day, every day, bro.
Yeah, biryani party. That's
So
good.
absolutely that and we'll have to party it up when we can. These opportunities have come few and far between for us
For
this
sunrise,
season.
yeah.
So
After like three losses, the
yeah,
finally a win. Yeah, big relief.
absolutely, yep. So yeah, moving on to two teams that are pretty much playing for very different scenarios. One's to kind of cement their playoff position, and one is just pretty much playing for pride now. So Mumbai Indians versus Chennai Super Kings. A very interesting game to see if Chennai can maybe spoil some parties going out of this tournament.
Mathematically, do they still have a chance or not at all?
Well, they're at 6 points. They have four games. If they win the next four, they make 14. So mathematically, yes, for sure, no
I'm
doubt about
surprised
that.
that Dhoni already conceded that they're not making the playoffs. But yeah,
Well, I don't think he expects them to win 4 out of 4 with the form that they're in, I guess.
yeah, yeah.
So and they need a lot of the other results to fall in their favor as well. So like
Mm.
it's just and the run rate's not the best. So if they lose even one, I think they're for sure out of the running. So I guess that's kind of why he probably conceded.
Mhm.
But they win 2 out of the next 3 or 2 out of the next 4 and just spoil, like, let's say a party for KKR, which would be good for Sunrisers, of course. And then let's say spoil a party for make it a little bit worrying for Mumbai after a win tomorrow. Like, I mean, Mumbai is pretty much done. I mean, they're at third position now with 12 points, but I think they've another couple of wins and they're pretty much sorted. But if they lose tomorrow, they might just be a couple of nerves of it being an even number start to creep in a little bit. Maybe a small couple of small things here and there might start to creep in.
Yeah,
Unlikely though, but we'll just wait and see.
yeah. Also, I don't think they'll want to finish third. I think with the start they've had, they want to finish in the top two so they get that
Yeah,
extra crack at the final spot.
Yes.
So I don't think they'll want to lose this game. They'll, because RCB are right now in second place. Mumbai, if they win, they go up. I
Right.
think all these teams will want to finish in the top two. Yes, the team who can't and will aim for fourth place, the other teams. But I think these three teams will aim for the top two. So I think
Yeah.
Mumbai will want to win. I heard some rumors about injuries and stuff. I'm not sure, but like Rohit Sharma wasn't well. He didn't finish off that super over game. I don't know what's the update with that. I'm sure he'll play, but I don't know exactly what's going on there. So it'll
Right.
be interesting to see if there's any changes in that lineup. But if they go with their full squad, they should beat Chennai, and I think they'll be ready to go after that super over loss. Super over loss. But I think, like you said, CSK will spoil parties. I think there won't be any pressure now.
Yeah.
Um, Even though there is a mathematical chance, they're probably realistically not looking at a playoff spot. So I think they can try some new players, try something different, and they can spoil a party.
Yeah. And that'll be interesting to see. But your players to watch out for?
It's difficult because I don't know exactly who's going to play, but
Yeah.
I would probably look out for Quinton de Kock. I think he's in excellent
Hmm.
form, and if he can continue his form, it'll be excellent for Mumbai. And
Yeah.
for CSK, I will look at Jadeja, Jadeja and Karan, probably Jadeja because he's been in good form.
Yeah.
But ideally, he would want to take some more wickets with the ball. And if the pitches start to turn with his pace, I think he can take some wickets.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's fair. I want to see Rahul Chahar bring up that because
I was
pitches
going
are
to
now
say
starting
Chahal,
to,
but then I'm like,
yeah.
I'm sure Don's going to pick him.
The pitches are starting to support these spinners, and you know how much I love these spinners. So it'll
Yeah,
be
and he's been
it'll be
excellent. He's been excellent
exactly.
this season.
And it's going to be a matter of kind of continuing that kind of form going into the more important games of the tournament now. So I'd like to see how he performs tomorrow. And from Chennai, I would want to see Dhoni come in with a nice little innings. He hasn't really clicked at all, so it'd be nice to see him score some runs.
Don't need to open the innings or
Dhoni
one
to open,
down.
wow, that would be interesting.
And maybe just try
But
something different. Like
at least number four, I guess number
he
four
made
goes
his
first. So
he cemented his place in Indian cricket with coming one down with that game against
yeah,
Pakistan, the 148.
yeah,
So why not just try it again, come one down or something like that?
yeah. Well, we'll wait and see what happens, but it's hopefully be a good game tomorrow. I would want Chennai to win this one just to
Yeah, of
keep.
course you do, baby. Of
No,
course you do.
just to keep Mumbai huffing and puffing a little bit. It'd be nice to see that. I mean, I still don't think that there's any chance that they will miss that playoff spot, but I just want them to be a
Yeah,
little bit worried into the last 2 or 3
but
games.
I think they will be like regardless with the Bangalore coming because I think they really want that top two spot. To be
Yeah,
very honest
yeah,
with you, they'll probably still qualify like you said, but I
yeah.
think now the top three teams will be eyeing the first two for
Top
sure.
two. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think so. I
100%.
think
It's
that's
because
what's gonna be.
because yeah, coming third and fourth it does make it difficult, right? So
Yeah.
like, well, other teams will take it. If I'm a Sunrisers fan, I'll take it. Like Punjab fans will take it. They'll take the fourth spot. But
Yeah.
when you're in that position, a commanding position, you'll want to get those two
I agree. I think
positions.
that's a very very fair point. I think they'd want to go all guns blazing for that top two, and that's going to be interesting. And that's why I want Chennai just to win the one tomorrow because they ideally don't really mess around with anything else for us. But at least just who knows? It's 2020. Things can change around, So it's always fun to see that, and
Yeah.
that's just why I want them to. I want Chennai to win because technically, again, they're still not out of it per se, but
You want them to make the playoffs.
no, they're never going to make the playoffs. It's impossible. If they make the playoffs, it's going to be terrible, terrible. But yeah, I just want everyone to be alive till as far as possible. Yeah, at least
Yeah, take
mathematically.
it to the wire. But
Yeah,
now it does look like because the bottom half have given each other so many chances, now it looks like it will go to the wire for the
yeah,
fourth spot. And
yeah,
net run rate comes into play. So I think that'll be very important finishing off games. Like from Sunrisers' perspective today, I think that the net run rate will help them a lot. Going forward, and same
yeah,
thing with RCP. Like if they want the top two spot, it might come down to net run rate. Like that win yesterday, a big win. So net run
yeah.
rate will be very important. Keep an eye on that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's going to be critical moving into the last day of the regular season. So yeah, it's going to be a fun game. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'll catch you tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Take care.